Rat poison or digital gold? The world's greatest investor finally faces his most extreme critic.
Michael, I've watched you buy more of that digital nothing this year than I've bought See's candies in my entire life. I just don't get it. If you offered me all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, I'd tell you to keep it and buy me a Dairy Queen Blizzard instead. At least the Blizzard is cold.
Warren, I have immense respect for the Berkshire legacy, but you're trying to value a 21st century masterpiece with a 19th century abacus. You're holding $300 billion in cash. That's not a war chest, Warren. That's a melting ice cube in a furnace. You're losing 10% of your power every year just sitting there.
Well, it's a very comfortable ice cube. Look, I like things that do something. If I buy a farm, I get corn. If I buy Coca-Cola, people get thirsty and I get a nickel. Your Bitcoin, it just sits there. Charlie used to say it was rat poison, and honestly, seeing the frenzy lately, I'd say he was right to call it rat poison squared. It lures people away from real businesses.
But that's the boomer gap, Warren. You think property has to be physical to be real. You love real estate, right? Imagine a skyscraper in Manhattan that never decays, has no property taxes, can't be seized by a government, and you can teleport it to Tokyo in 3 seconds. That's not poison. That's the apex property of the human race. It's the first time in history we've engineered a perfect store of value.
Teleporting skyscrapers. Michael, you've been spending too much time in the cloud. I like things I can touch. I sold half my Apple stock because even that felt a bit too airy at these prices. The market is full of air right now. Too much multiple expansion, not enough earnings. It's like a parade where everyone is walking on stilts. Eventually the stilts break.
I agree the air is in the fiat companies. Apple is a great company, but it's tethered to a failing currency. Bitcoin is the only thing that isn't a stilt. It's the ground the parade is walking on. You're waiting for a crash so you can buy cheap companies, but while you wait, the denominator, the dollar, is being destroyed. You're winning the game of more dollars, but losing the game of purchasing power.
Maybe so, but I've lived through 15 end-of-the-world scenarios, and the American tailwind has never failed me. I'll stick to my cheeseburgers and cash. You keep your digital energy. Just promise me if that 21 million cap ever turns into 22 million, you'll give me a call so I can say, I told you so.
Warren, if that cap hits 22 million, the laws of mathematics have failed and the universe is collapsing. At that point, not even your cherry Coke will be safe.
Fair enough. Pass the salt, will you? At least that's a mineral I understand.